Yeah, of course I'm gonna talk about this. I can't not talk about this. We have a new trailer, or at least a new teaser trailer, for the Lord of the Rings series coming to Amazon Prime called The Rings of Power. And oh my god! This trailer's actually been pretty overdue since it's been like 5 months since the first teaser, and the release date hasn't changed, it's still premiering in like a month and a half. So let's finally start to see some marketing here. This teaser is great. I mean, even within the first like 10 seconds, I was like, the music. I know, we Lord of the Rings fans, we were all like, that's the Rivendell theme, or at least it sounds a lot like it. Yeah, as in the Rivendell theme from the Peter Jackson movies. Again, I know this is a different studio, it's not Warner Brothers or MGM or New Line, it's Amazon. But it does have me wondering who is writing the music for this series, and how are the themes gonna be? Well, if the song in this teaser is any indication, it's gonna feel a lot like Lord of the Rings.
Call to me, lands far away.
Cause that shit's amazing. And man, oh man, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but these visual effects, holy shit. So many wide shots in this teaser of these huge cities. I'm like, this looks amazing. Yeah, you definitely see where the budget went for this show. And one shot in particular, I was like, that is Rivendell. The mountains, the waterfalls, the color palette, it does look a lot like Rivendell from the Peter Jackson films. The architecture looks a little different, but it does still look elven, and given the mountains and waterfalls, I have to be like, that's Rivendell. It has to be. Which automatically gets me excited, because I love seeing Rivendell. That first voiceover that's going, we see these people, she calls them Harfoots. Judging by that name and how they look, I'm like, are they hobbits? They look kind of like a hobbit-like people. I don't know. I mean, we do see that hobbits are going to be in the show. We see that in the last shot in this teaser. In fact, that last shot is like classic Lord of the Rings. Hobbits hiking on that hill. I was like, yeah, we might as well be in the Peter Jackson films. This show has a difficult job, actually, now that I think about it. It has to tell a completely different story than the movies told, but it also has to still feel like Lord of the Rings. It has to do the fans justice. I don't envy it at all, but it looks like it might just pull it off. That fireball that goes through the sky, we also saw that in the first teaser. It turns out it might not be a fireball, but it might be like a meteor or something. It lands, I'm like, what is that? I have no idea, but I am really curious. Maybe this thing that fell from the sky or the heavens, maybe that's what gets the whole ball rolling, the whole story? I don't know, maybe it's the material that the rings end up being made from. I'm just pulling that out of my ass. I actually have no idea. I've never read the books. But Morfydd Clark looks great as Galadriel in this teaser. I can't deny that. I loved seeing every scene she was in here, especially this bit.
You have not seen what I've seen.
I have seen my share.
You have not seen what I have seen.
Yeah, alright, couple things to deconstruct here. First of all, that dude she's talking to, this is actually Elrond. Yeah, as in eventually Lord Elrond, played by Hugo Weaving in the Peter Jackson movies. Which honestly, you wouldn't know that by me since he doesn't look anything like Hugo Weaving. And I know he's not supposed to, but I'm just saying I wouldn't have known that that is Elrond if I hadn't looked it up. So alright, we have a couple of characters that we are familiar with in this series. Good. And also Galadriel's foresight, her premonition. Holy shit, that looks dark. I gotta be honest, out of all the amazing shots in this teaser, this is one of my favorites. Cause it does show that bad shit is coming. I do feel like the original rise of Sauron is gonna play into this series in some way, shape, or form. Could be in this first season, could be in the pilot, could be at the very end of the last season. I like not knowing for sure yet. And also the fact that Elrond tells Galadriel to put up her sword. I'm looking forward to seeing Galadriel as a warrior, as a knight. Cause that's a side of Galadriel that I've never seen before. I really do feel like she must have been a badass warrior in her day. And what can I say? I can't wait to see that. And then after that, we have a few more visually breathtaking shots that had me going, yes, this does feel like Lord of the Rings. We really are back in Middle-earth. We have that one shot of that city we saw in the first teaser. I still think it looks like Amen. Yeah, those statues do remind me of the Argonath. I have heard that Isildur will be featured in this show as a character. We fans know that Isildur would be the one to originally defeat Sauron in the last alliance of men and elves. Which does make me think, are the Argonath, the Dunedain, are they gonna be featured in the show? Are we gonna learn more about them? Because that'd be awesome. Since, Aragorn is one of the best characters in Lord of the Rings, I think it'd be pretty damn cool to learn a little something about his ancestors. Again, I'm just spitballing, I don't know what this is actually going to entail. We see a dwarf character in this teaser, he has a line.
This could be the beginning of a new era.
This is Prince Durin IV. Now, Durin is a really important name when it comes to the Dwarven kingdoms. It's like one of the most noble, most royal lines of Dwarven kings. Thorin Oakenshield came from the line of Durin. So apparently seeing the fourth in that line, Prince Durin the Fourth, he still carries that name. That should be really cool to see. Plus, I liked hearing his Scottish accent. A new era. Guys, in the end, I just love this teaser. I love watching it. I love all the visual effects. And I know that as pretty as this show could look, it'll ultimately come down to the story and the writing to determine if the show is actually any good. That's what has a lot of hardcore fans on edge. Cause I've read the comments, and they've said that yeah, this teaser is better than the first one in terms of visual appeal, but they are still concerned about the writing. They don't want it to end up like Game of Thrones, where it started off great and then it ended in a rushed mess. Amazon is really betting a lot on this show. Since I'm pretty sure they already have like 5 seasons planned, they must have a lot of faith in it, which is a good sign though. I feel like they do have something really big in store for us. They're like, yeah guys, watch out. This could be like the new Game of Thrones, which is kind of funny since there is another Game of Thrones show that is coming out soon. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be like House of the Dragon versus Rings of Power. Which fantasy show will grab more viewers? I will be watching both. And honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna do a video on each episode of House of the Dragon, but for Rings of Power, yeah, definitely. I have to. It's Lord of the Rings. There's no choice for me in that regard. I can't wait for this show. I do hope we get one more trailer that does show a little bit more of the story, if for nothing else to calm the fans' minds on that. But we'll see. So, the main teaser for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Have you watched it? What are your thoughts on it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play that Overwatch 2 beta. Sojourn is a blast, dude. I didn't know she'd have rapid fire. That's my shit right there. Peace.